Climate. The Tropic of Cancer effectively divides the country into temperate and tropical zones. Land north of the 24th parallel experiences cooler temperatures during the winter months. South of the 24th parallel, temperatures are fairly constant year-round and vary solely as a function of elevation. This gives Mexico one of the world's most diverse weather systems. Tourism. According to the World Tourism Organization, Mexico has one of the largest tourism industries in the world. In 2005, it was the seventh most popular. The most notable tourist draws are the ancient Mesoamerican ruins and the popular beach resorts. The coastal climate and unique culture, a fusion of European, particularly Spanish, and Mesoamerican cultures, also make Mexico attractive. The peak tourist seasons in Mexico are during December and during July and August, with brief surges during the week before Easter and during spring break at many of the beach resort sites, which are popular among vacationing college students from the United States. Mexico is the 23rd highest tourism spender in the world and the highest in Latin America. Economy. Mexico has a free market economy with a mixture of modern and outmoded industry and agriculture, increasingly dominated by the private sector. The number of state-owned enterprises in Mexico has fallen from more than 1,000 in 1982 to fewer than 200 in 1998. The Zedillo administration privatized and expanded competition in seaports, railroads, telecommunications, electricity, natural gas distribution, and airports. A strong export sector helped to cushion the economy's decline in 1995 and led the recovery in 1996 and 1997. In 1998, private consumption became the leading driver of growth, which was accompanied by increased employment and higher wages. The government expects the economy to slow in 1999 because of low commodity prices, tighter international liquidity, and slacker demands for exports. Mexico still needs to overcome many structural problems as it strives to modernize its economy and raise living standards. Income distribution is very unequal, with the top of 20% of income earners accounting for the 55% of income. Trade with the United States and Canada has nearly doubled since NAFTA was implied in 1994. Mexico is pursuing additional trade agreements with the most countries in Latin America and with the Europe to lessen its dependence on the U.S. Religion. Mexico has no official religion, and the Constitution of 1917 and the anti-clerical laws impose limitations on the church, and sometimes codified state intrusion into church matters. The government does not provide any financial contributions to the church, and the church does not participate in the public education. The last census reported by self-description that 95% of the population is Christian. Roman Catholics are 89% of the total population, 47% of whom attend church service weekly. In absolute terms, Mexico has the world's second largest number of Catholics after Brazil. Culture. Mexican culture reflects the complexity of the country's history through the blending of pre-Hispanic civilizations and the culture of Spain, imparted during the Spain's 300-year colonization of Mexico. Exogenous cultural elements mainly from the United States have been incorporated into Mexican culture. The Porfirian era, El Porfiriato, in the last quarter of the 19th century and the first decade of the 20th century was marked by economic progress and peace. After 4 decades of civil unrest and war, Mexico saw the development of philosophy and arts, promoted by the President Diaz himself. Since that time, as accentuated during the Mexican Revolution, cultural identity has had its foundation in the Mestiz age, of which the indigenous, in example Amerindian, element is the core. In light of the various ethnicities that form the Mexican people, José Vasconcelos, in his publication La Raza Cósmica, or The Cosmic Race, in 1825, defined Mexico to be the melting pot of all races, thus extending the definition of the mestizo, not only biologically but culturally as well. This exalting of mestizage was a revolutionary idea that sharply contrasted with the idea of a superior poor race prevalent in Europe at the time. Sports. Mexico City hosted the 19th Olympic Games in 1968, making it the first Latin American city to do so. Rio de Janeiro will be the second in 2016. The country has also hosted the FIFA World Cup twice, in 1970 and 1986. Mexico's most popular sport is association football, or soccer. It is commonly believed that football was introduced in Mexico by Cornish miners at the end of the 19th century. Football became a professional sport in 1943. Since the era professionals started, Mexico's top clubs have been Guadalajara with 11 championships, America with 10, and Toluca with 9. In Mexican football, many players have been raised to the level of legend, but 2 of them have received international recognition above others. Antonio Carvajal was the first player to appear in 5 World Cups, and Hugo Sanchez was named Best CONCACAF Player of the 20th Century by IFFHS. Mexico's biggest stadiums are the Estadio Azteca, Estadio Olímpico Universitario, and Jalisco Stadium. Notable achievements by Mexican national soccer teams include winning the 1999 Confederations Cup, the 2005 U17 World Cup, and being runners-up in the 1977 U20 World Cup. The Mexican team was also a runner-up in the 2007 Beach Soccer World Cup. Mexican football clubs have achieved good results in international competitions like the Copa Libertadores